Okay, I'm going to go through a quick disassembly and preparation for putting on a new iPhone 4 screen. In this particular case, I'm just changing the screen to a different one. So first of all, you start with these back screws right here, and in this case I've got the pentalobe screws. Some of the iPhone 4s have just regular Phillips screws here, so I'll just use my pentalobe driver here, pull those out. Pop those out. Then all you're going to do is slide the screen forward like that, and the screen pops off. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is disconnect the battery connector, and the other thing we need to do is pop out the SIM card, which we're going to do here in a second. One thing I will say while I'm doing that is that it's really important for you to back up your iPhone before you do any of this stuff. Okay, so that way, just in case it doesn't go right, you can always back up to a new. Okay, so just got it installed. Boom. Okay, so let's go ahead and use my little mini Phillips here. Okay, I found my little mini Phillips, and first thing we're going to do is just disconnect the battery connector. So we're going to use our little mini Phillips here. Pop off the guard for that. Just going to try and keep everything organized. And it comes off like that. Okay, good. And then we're going to use my little connector popper and just to pop that connector off of there. Okay, that pops that connector off of there. Now we can just pull the battery out of there, as you can see, like that. You can see the battery's got a little sticky stuff on it, so just be careful when you pull the battery out. Okay, so the next things we're going to work on is we're going to have to pull off this guard right here for the motherboard. We're going to pull those screws off. We're going to pull all these screws out of here to disconnect the vibrating motor, disconnect this guard which protects the panel underneath, and we'll be able to take the camera out. And we're going to pop out all these bottom components, which is the speaker. So we're just going to start pulling out some screws here. Pull this out first using a little mini connector. And try and keep your screws together. With the little things like this, it's easier because then you can keep it with that particular component. Okie dokie. Now I'm going to come up here, start pulling out all these screws here. Sometimes they're not that easy, even if you've got the right little mini Phillips like I did. It can be hard to pull those out of there. These two little screws are on like a spring, so when you screw that in, it pops up. When we go through assembly again, we'll see how different that is. Those actually have two different screws there. Two different long ones. I probably should keep those in view there so you can see what we took out there. Okay. Okay, we're going to keep a little light on here, and we're just going to keep pulling out these screws here. That's a long one. Just keep an order where you're getting your screws from. That way when you go to put it all back down together again, you got the right screws. Okay, good. Okay, so we got that out of there. Now this little guard right here is going to pop off, which in my case it popped off easy because I've taken this off before. But there's actually these little slots down here which that guard sticks into. These two little tabs right here. So, which can make it really hard to pop that out of there. So just be patient and pull that out of there very gently, and it should come out. Okay, so I'm going to put that with those screws there. Okay. Next thing we need to do is we're going to pop all these connectors right here. I believe there's 5 connectors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connectors here. So we're going to pop all these connectors one at a time. They don't really have to come off in any particular order. Just start popping them off. This is why it's handy to have this little non-conductive tool for popping these connectors nice and gently. Okay. Okay, now there's one more screw that's actually right here. It's got like a little white tab on it, which is used for telling if the motherboard has gotten wet before. So that's that connector right there. And you'll see there's one more connector right here. We're going to pop that up. We're going to peel that back, okay? And way down back below, right in here, you see there's another screw back in here. So we're going to pull that one out. Put that there. There's one little connector, a little power connector here we're going to pop off. This is a little for the speakers right here. Okay, good. So it looks like we've got all of our screws out of there. That's the whole motherboard connection right there. There's one more little screw, and I need a special driver for this. I used last time. I used a little flat driver to pull this. This is actually where a screw actually went in before, but it's actually a screw within a screw, and you need to pull that one out to get that one off of there. Okay, good. Okay, so now it looks like we got all of our connectors off. Okay. I'll pop that off of there. You see those should fold back nice and neatly there. There's one more connector here which holds the camera in place. I just gotta pop that off, and there's the camera. It comes off. Stick that up over there. Okie dokie. And now we're trying to pull the whole motherboard out, and you can see the whole motherboard just kind of slides out of there, kind of slides in like that, pops right back out again. So now we got the motherboard out. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to pop this side of here by pulling out this little screw right here, a little mini Phillips. Pulls our speaker out. We'll try and keep that all together. Okay, so now we got the motherboard out, we got the camera out, we got the vibrating motor, we got the shields off. All we have to do now is take out the 10 screws that actually hold in the screen itself. So I'll just point them out here. So if you can see them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 6 main screws that have washers on them, which are a little difficult to put back in again. Then you got 4 corner screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's 10 total screws we got to take out here. And we'll just proceed to whip these screws out of here. Sometimes can be a pain, but try and whip them out nice and fast. Got them all out of there. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 washers. Okay, now we're going to get the 4 corner screws, which are a little tougher. Okay, so that's that should be it. We got all 4 of those out of there. And now we are ready to pull our screen out. Sometimes there's a little adhesive in here. I've put this screen in before, so it should actually come out pretty easily. Yes. And you gotta be careful to make sure you get your ribbons come out. See how that came out of there? Those ribbons, those two ribbon connectors come through that little hole. So be very careful when you pull that out. Pull that out there nice and gently. And that's it. So the screen is out. So now you have two separate pieces. You got your frame and you got your screen. And that's disassembly. We'll work on putting the screen back in on the next video.